Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Rise Mindset and Performance, my private Facebook group. I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to get themselves sorted and let me know in the comments if you can hear me okay. I'm just going to make sure I am live in the group. If you can hear me okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, so let me just do a little refresh. We're live. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. This is the start of a series that I'm creating, just a little bite-sized 20 minutes. You can catch this on your coffee break or use this when this moment comes up, like use this as a chance to take a break and go, you know what? I'm going to do something really good for 20 minutes here. And every week will be impactful. And on what I'm doing, what I'm sharing in this series is what I'm finding or what I'm seeing in my own clients so that I can help you. Because every client journey is different and you learn something different from every client as well. So if there's like a trend I see that is happening, I'm going to share it with you so you get a little bit of an insight of what can happen when you work with me. So good morning, there's Susan. Good morning. Do let me know you're watching. Just drop a comment. I always love you to be interactive. It helps you pay attention. Um, but I really do want to keep this 20 minutes. So let's get dive in. You don't really need anything for this. You can sit there with your cup of tea and you can listen, you can take notes, but definitely try and give yourself uninterrupted because I'm going to be dropping some good stuff. Okay, this is called starting point of achievement. And the reason why I created this is because I know through my own experience and I know through the work that I do with my own clients that it's so important to get really clear on your starting point. And I know many of you will think, well, I already know what I want to do. I already know I want to start this business. And wanting something and having a really deep desire for something is completely different. And it's desire, it's connecting you with desire that is where I want to take you. Because there's a lot of things in life would be nice, and yes, you would want them, but wanting something's not going to move you from what you're doing already. You know, wanting to start your own business is not going to move you from your job where you've got that security of a regular income, but a deep desire to start a business will shift you from that. So when we're thinking about what we want, what we want to do in life, what we want to achieve, like how much do you desire it? How much do you desire to earn that income? How much do you desire that relationship? How much do you desire that business? How much do you desire the outcome that you want? And you know and you can think about examples of desire. I'm married, would have walked over broken glass for that man when I first met him. That's desire, right? It moves you from your current space and you don't care about time, space, money, nothing. It will get you to where you want to be. But there are a lot of things we want in life, and there's a catch. We want A, but we're not prepared to let go of B. Okay? So we want to start a new business, but we also really like having that steady income from a job, and that keeps us stuck. So when you're holding on to something that is actually keeping you from your goal, that's what you need to talk about. So you need to think about like, what is it I'm holding on to that's keeping me away from what I desire? It's like I want to lose 20 pounds, but I don't want to stop eating my favorite foods, which are burgers, beer, and chocolate. Okay? So like you have to ask yourself, what do I desire more? The burger and the beer and the chocolate or the 20-pound weight loss? When you're in a job and you want to start a business, what do you want more? Do you want the opportunity to create freedom in your life, to work for you, to not have to take a lunch break that somebody dictates for the next 30 years? Or do you just want to not have to put in as much effort and know that somebody else is going to be paying your wage every month and you stay where you're at? Okay. These are the things I really want you to think about when you are creating these goals, asking yourself, because you can write all the goals that you want, but if you do not have that desire, a desire that you literally would move mountains for, like a no matter what, because we as human beings, we're all really habitual. Okay. So if you don't have, and I teach people how to create positive habits, but they've got to start somewhere. So connecting them with desire and their goal gives them a little bit of momentum while we build these habits. Okay? So what is it you really want, but what are you holding on to? You know, I really want to live in a big house, but I really don't want to have to maybe leave this job and build this business. It's too much work. Well, then you don't really want the house. You want to be comfortable, okay? This is the difference. And you can let me know, and there's Kerry too. Let me know in the comments, does this make sense to you? And you don't have to share your particular goal, but is there a goal you've got in mind and you're like, oh, I really want that, but the desire isn't there because you're still too you're holding on tight to something else. And I can tell you, when it comes to success and achievement, the thing that you think you're letting go of and all the fear and the worry, like, oh, if I leave my job, I won't have this money, and people are gonna like think I'm stupid, and I'm going to be scared all the time. Most of that, I would say 90% of that is made up in your head. 10% of it is actual reality. So what's the story you're making up in your head? Susan's like, I can totally relate. And I say this because I can relate. I look at things and I'm like, really, Lynn, did you really want that? Or would it just be nice? You know, there's a lot of things we think we want, and this is what happens, and this is how we damage ourselves when we go to into the space of goal achievement, and we actually create our own disappointment. Is because we're not going for the right goals. So we go for these goals that we think that we want, and we're not really clear. We haven't built up the desire. We don't achieve them, and then we see ourselves as failures. But you're not a failure. You've just been looking at the wrong goal. Okay? You haven't got really clear and harnessing the desire to go for it because you're still kind of holding on to things that you think that your life will be worse, so you'll be missing out of. You know, it's like, oh, if I have to work a couple of weekends to build up my business on the side, I'm gonna miss my friends, I'm gonna miss social events. But if it's only for the short term, for long term happiness and freedom and doing what you love, isn't it worth it? Like my mentor, Bob Proctor, says, you've got to be willing and able. Like, what are you willing to do? I have a client, and at a very young age, he followed his not even his then girlfriend, it wasn't even married at the time. He followed her halfway across the world. He didn't know the language. He had no job and no money because he really wanted to be with her. There was burning desire. He literally, without knowing anything, without having any evidence, he went with it. But the beauty about when you're working with me is I'll show you the evidence. The evidence will appear, but you've got to make that connection. So asking yourself, what is it that I really want? Because there's going to be some things that we're going to have to do to get the goal that we want that we don't want to do. Okay? If you are looking to squeeze into um, an extra couple of workout sessions so that you can perform really well in a marathon, but it means that you have to get up an hour early, you might go, oh, what do I want more? Success at that marathon and get my personal best time, or that extra hour in bed? There's always like a transaction. And I think as well in the way that most of us live, we are so fortunate in so many ways because there's so much convenience and comfort. And actually, and I find it as well with some of my higher performing clients, the more comfortable they get with success and money, it's harder for them to reach the goals because they've really got to stretch themselves because they've got so much loveliness in their life. And you think it's like, oh, it's okay for them, they've got time and they've got money. No, it doesn't get any easier. We all have to go through the same process, no matter what stage you're at. Um, but it does get easier, in your mind anyway. And it's not quite the same, but it's all the same challenges. Thinking about your desire, what you really want. I'm going to share my screen because this is what happens when you get into this material and you start understanding how powerful your mind is and you want to use it more. It can make perfect sense that you think, oh, well, this is all about feeling good. So when I feel good, I'll do X. And that's not the case. So it's not, that's not the case. I'm going to draw this out because I like drawing little pictures. I know that you to watch me, you like a little picture. So let's say this is you, okay? And this is your goal. You've got a goal and you really want it. But between you and your goal, there are tasks you need to complete, okay? There's action you need to take. We don't get there without action, okay? We've got to move. So we've got our goal here, which is highlighted by the letter G, and we've got our task here, which is I'm going to use Blackford. Okay, so here you are. What happens is we want to feel good, okay? But we put the feeling in the wrong position. So we think, oh, when I feel like it, right? And we all know we may never feel like it. Okay, feeling, waiting to feel for something is a long way. What most people do is, like, okay, I've set this goal, and if I put my mind to it, I can do anything I want, and I've got this task to complete. But you put the feeling in front of it, the task. So when I feel good, or when it feels easy, or when it feels convenient, or when it's the right time, or when it's not raining, or whatever it is you want, when the economy doesn't look so scary, right? You put this feeling in front of the task, okay? And you're not going to get done. If you wait, if you're expecting to overnight go, oh, I've set this goal to be a marathon runner, I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock, I'm going to feel so good about it. No, you're not. No, you're not, okay? You're not going to feel good about it at the start. And most people put this feeling before the task, okay? And that is what's blocking so many people. If you ignore the feeling and you do it when you're tired, when you're scared, when you're broke, when you're cold, the good feeling will always, 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 always come after. Okay? You'll always achieve that great feeling, especially when you achieve the goal. You won't always have a good feeling at the side of your goal. And we know this, okay? And if you do, it's temporary. You want to be focusing on the plan, okay? There's a great line. Follow the plan, not your mood. Now you can let me know in the comments, okay? How many of you have been feeling like you have been relying on this feeling, this good emotion, this positive emotion before you've taken action towards your goal? No, I do. It's like, and here's the deal. There's Amy, good morning. If we waited every time to feel good, it's like, oh, I'll go to work when I feel like it. We wouldn't get much done, okay? But see, when you put in the work and you sacrifice that good feeling at the start point in order for the gain and the goal, you will always feel good at this side. Guaranteed. It will feel. Carrie's like me. She's like all the time. Okay. And I'm sharing this with you just so you know, because when we come to talk about my work, there's so many emotions and there's so many things going on in our head, and it can be really hard to kind of like bring clarity around it, like what's going on here. And this is what's going on with a lot of people is we're waiting until we feel like it. We're waiting until it feels less scary. We're waiting to watch somebody else go first. Yeah. All that wait. And the thing is, time doesn't wait for us. It goes on anyway. The world keeps turning. The sun rises every day. The grass keeps growing. It doesn't wait. It's not waiting for Linda to decide, if she's gonna cut it or not. It's like, well, I'm growing anyway. Okay? But when you've got a goal that you want more than anything else, and by the way, ladies who are watching, I so appreciate your honesty. I still go through this, but I recognize it now, and I'm hoping that this little session helps you recognize, like, am I following the feeling or following the plan? And because because we've made these plans, in your logical mind that this plan makes sense, and you believe that it will bring you success. But we allow these feelings and emotions to come in first before we've kind of built up the habit. And that's what I do with my clients. I build up habits so that when you build up a habit, the feeling doesn't even matter. It's like if you're in the habit of brushing your teeth every morning, you're already at that sink brushing your teeth before you go, oh, I don't feel like brushing my teeth this morning. It's not in you anymore because you made it a habit. Okay? That's why habits are so powerful. I wake up at the same time every morning, and the only time I feel like I've been hit by a bus in the morning is if I change the time and it's unusual. And that time could be later or earlier, but every single day I get up at the same time in the morning because it's part of your mind. You think, oh, I need to sleep. You don't really. You don't really need that lion. I had a very unfortunate episode with a spider this morning, so I was up early, 10 minutes early. But if you do the same thing over time and you build a habit, getting up at 6 o'clock or whatever time you want to get up early at won't even take a flinch out of you. You won't even go, oh, I'm so tired. That is all made up on our head. So much, 10% of it's maybe reality. Okay? So when you build in the habits, this is when it gets easy. Put my little pen here. Okay? That's not the color I wanted. Right? We build this habit, we will need to rely on a feeling. Okay? When we've got good positive habits, we are straight in to the task. And the thing about this is, when we're straight into the task, there's no space for negotiation. You don't feel your mind trying to talk yourself out of it. Oh, you're tired. You worked really hard yesterday. Oh, it's too much bother. You don't hear that voice. That voice has been squished and you move on. Okay? So, this is the message I want to leave with you. Start really thinking about your goals. How much do you want it? What are you prepared to give up? Because most people have to give up something. And it could be money, it could be time or their energy. Most people have to contribute something to achieve a greater goal. And you have to decide whether it's worth it. It's like walking into the shoe shop and you see the most beautiful pair of shoes and you're just like, oh my goodness, take my money, take my money, take it all, right? I don't care how many weeks, months, years I have spent working towards, and take all my money, right? You want your goal to be a no-brainer, okay? It's like, yep, no matter what, I'll get that done. Yeah, you don't need to know all the facts. That's another thing. Needing to know all the facts. Getting that done. Okay? Desire is the starting point of your achievement. Get really clear on what you want, not what your partner wants, not what your children want, not what you think society wants of you, what you want. It doesn't need any explanation. You don't have to try and convince anybody why you want to do it or get people on your team, to give you validation. You could be there for a long, long time. And if anything, it could disappoint you. What it is you want. it's something that you will not stop at. And you'll see the people who achieve big things is they stopped at nothing. Stopped at nothing towards their goals. And that's where I want you to get that real desire. So it might be a point where you just have some time, you spend some time today, have a really think about your goals. Like what have you been allowing to hold you back? Like what story are you saying like, oh no, like you need more sleep or you can't live without chocolate every day or when it comes to investing in your business, you're like, yeah, but I really like that savings pot. It looks good that way, and I just want to keep it that way. Okay. Carrie's got hers, financially independent. And I encourage every person, whether you've got a partner, you're married, children or not, to be financially independent. Have money of your own. Right? She wants to provide safe space for her children, be a stay-at-home mom and granny, and a swimming pool. See, I love that, right? Carrie's got a strong desire. And for those who don't know her, she'll make that happen because she will not let anything stop her. Anything stop her. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. It was great to have you all. As always, I love your feedback. Is this something you'd like me to do more often? I've just decided I was going to do it, but if you'd like me to do this more often, get my words out. Let me know. Is there a point or topic you'd love me to cover in this 20-minute session? Because it's just perfect for a coffee break. It's perfect for a wee boost to your day. Maybe a little bit of clarity in what you're doing so you can get on ahead. And it's perfect to kind of like, okay, maybe I've been thinking in the wrong direction. Maybe I should think in this direction. That's a game changer for everything. So I'm going to record this and keep it. I'll probably put it on YouTube, but you can access this at any time. I'll pop it into the guide section later. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all for the next one.